Hey everybody, it's Ravi, it's Mark bringing you another tutorial, another how-to, and this time it's going to be a Photoshop tutorial. Now in this Photoshop tutorial, we're going to be talking about how to grab objects from different images using the selection tools in our arsenal. If you're just starting out on Photoshop, this is a great If you're just starting out on Photoshop, this is such a great tool to have in your arsenal, in your tool belt, because this will quickly become one of those tools that you will use time and time again. Now, without further ado, let's get started. I just tapped on Safari. The first thing that we want to do in this tutorial is to find objects in images that we want to grab from. The website that I will use for this example in this Photoshop tutorial is Unsplash. Unsplash is great for projects that you want high resolution photos or images, but you don't want to add to the operating expenses. These photos are under the Unsplash license, which says that all photos can be downloaded and used for commercial and non-commercial purposes, and that no permission is needed. However, attribution to the photographer is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to see photos from me, actually, I am on Unsplash. I'll link it down below so that you guys can check that out if you want. But hey, there you go, Unsplash, great website, high resolution photos. This is not sponsored, by the way. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is grab a few photos from Unsplash. So let's go ahead and do that. I have like 20%, 27% left. Dog. Every time that I'm recording, there's always a dog. Okay, we're gonna grab crown. Yeah, we're gonna use that one. Yeah, we'll use that one. Yeah, like that. Now that we have our photos, we're going to open up Photoshop and open up one of the photos. Photoshop. Just for the record, I am using Photoshop 2021. So if something's missing, that's probably why, because it's in a later version of Photoshop. So let's open up our first photo. Let's use the crown one that I got from Pro Church on Unsplash. Now let's take a look at our first selection tool, which is going to be our object selection tool. For this tool, you're going to go over to the toolbar and you're going to click over here. And it's going to say one of these three things: quick selection tool, magic wand tool, or object selection tool. I'm going to select the object selection tool. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select the object that we want to move or copy by clicking and dragging over the object. The object selection tool will do the rest of the work and find the object for us. Give it a little bit of time. This is why I love Photoshop. Okay, you're going to press select and mask. At this point, you can make corrections to the edges or to the object as need be. So I'll just do a little bit of refining on the edges. Just a little bit of refining. And then depending on whether or not you want to use the image that the object came with, you can output to either new layer or new document. So that's up to you. I'm gonna make it as a new layer. The technology to do this is fantastic. I love it. It's so good. Okay, the next selection tool that we're going to be looking at is the quick selection tool. So we're going to go over to the selection tool area and we're going to select quick selection tool. And I'm going to increase the size of the brush that we're going to use just a little bit more. The quick selection tool is great for objects that are bigger and maybe go off screen, or maybe you want specific edges and maybe they're not so easily defined. So this would be a great example to use for the quick selection tool. So what you're going to do is you're going to select your quick selection tool like I just did, and you can click and drag onto the object that you want to move or copy over. So I'm going to just drag that. I just want to select the rinds, just the front facing part of the orange. And then I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I don't want this part of the rind, so I'm just going to go over here to minus, drag that to the edges. We're going to do the same thing, select and mask. That actually looks pretty good to me already. Yeah, I think I'm just going to keep it that way. Okay, I'm going to import. Let's just make it a new document because we can. There you go, an orange slice. Nice. Okay, and lastly, we are going to take a look at where is the object that I was going to use? Here we go. Okay, lastly, we're going to take a look at the magic wand tool, the magic wand tool. And now the magic wand tool is not necessarily for moving objects or changing objects, but more for selecting backgrounds so that we can showcase products in different backgrounds, in different settings. So what you're going to do is you're going to select your magic wand tool off to the side, one of the selection tools, and we're going to click on the background that we want to change. Okay, we'll be using this photo. We'll be using this photo as a example from Unsplash. From here, after selecting that, you can change the photo. You can change the background of the photo by clicking on the paint bucket tool. Let's just say I want to change it to green. Nah, that sounds terrible. Let's change it to orange. Yeah, there you go. And then obviously we have a few spots here. We can fix that with the magic wand tool by selecting over here. So like the space between the cup handle. I'm pressing shift as I select these so that they're all grouped together. You can see that little plus sign beside the magic wand tool. Okay, and then I'm going to just grab the paint bucket again, drop it in, drop in the paint. Okay, you can see here that these the background here is not the same color as everything else, so we're just going to select those areas that are of slightly different color. We're going to drop here, change the color with the paint bucket. That. This is a really quick and fast edit. Obviously I would correct those edges, use the blend brush and then go over those. But yeah, this is what it would look like in a different light. Remember, these are just the beginning of the uses of these tools. If you make something with the information that you just received, I would love to see how it went. Tag me on at It's Rabby if you want to share your artwork with me. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I also hope that you got value out of this video. If you did, share it with your friends, with your family, with your fellow creatives, with your fellow peers, and hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this one. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one.